What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Of course, this is TWA Motorsports, and today, guys, is a beautiful day. It's like almost 80 degrees. We had about an inch of ice a week ago, and today it's 80. That's just Missouri weather for you. But to follow up with the video I did last, which was on the trailer, you guys saw I kind of went through my old trailer, which is gone now. Got this new trailer, and I said something about getting a dolly to move this thing around. So that is what we're going to do today. We're going to assemble this dolly. I picked it up. I don't know how well it's going to work. The reviews seem to be pretty good, and I'll try to link it in the description down below, guys. But yeah, this has really disrupted me working out here because I've got to hook this thing up, drag it out. I don't want it sitting outside and just to move stuff around because, as I told you in the last video, that garage door is not functioning right now. And because of that, I really can't get it in there without something like this. So I'm hoping this thing works so we can move the 52, get this thing over up against the wall back there, and the 52 over, and then just kind of move stuff around and be able to, you know, pull stuff in and out, which is what I want to be able to do, especially when I'm working on stuff. So either way, that's what we're going to do. Like I said, this is it had pretty good reviews, but I think there is some assembly required. So what we're going to do is I'm going to try to crack this thing open. I might just lay it on my trailer actually, and we'll go through the install process. Then my plan is to hook up the truck to the trailer, yank this thing out of here, move like the truck out and move stuff around, and then maybe we can see how well it works. But let's get this thing opened up, and we'll talk about the assembly process. I went ahead and shut the garage door to maybe help with some of the glare. But so they make these things up to, man, like $4,000 that are electronic or have a battery or whatnot, and no more than I'm going to be moving this. I thought this was a good middle of the road. It's like $250. And maybe it sucks, I don't know. But I definitely need a sharper knife, that's for sure. Let's see what's involved. I'm hoping, some of the reviews said that it didn't take maybe 15 minutes to put together. So I don't know, I guess we'll see. Got our handle. Golly, it's got some pretty good sized tires. It's a 15-inch tire, and they're solid filled, so you don't have to worry about like keeping them aired up or anything like that, which is nice. Because inevitably, like I said, I'm not going to be using this a ton, and if it just sits in a corner, you know, I don't want tires to go flat. It's got a big, huge caster for the front. Look at that, it's got grease fittings on everything. Looks to be pretty good for the most part. It does come with a ball, a 2-inch ball. So let's get all this junk out of the way here and see what we got to do. Well, let me start by saying that the instructions, they're not great, but we'll try to make it work. Either way. We've got our middle section here that is our main piece, and this guy is going to get the wheels and tires, and it looks like, guys, 15 and 17 millimeter. It is metric, which, look, most stuff is metric for the most part, but we need to put a couple of these washers on, one on each side, and then we need to slide the wheel into place. And then we need to put another washer on, and then there is a kind of like a cotter pin that goes in the end here. Now, whether it's, I'm pretty sure it's this guy, and the reason I say that is because you don't necessarily going to be removing this. There's another one, I think, for the handle, because you can move it up and down. So I'm gonna go get a pair of pliers, I guess, and actually I guess maybe I can do it by hand. Just bend these over. Do the same thing over here. It seems pretty solid. Like, you know, you just, sometimes you get some pretty cheap steel. We'll just see how it works once we get some weight on it, though. That's what I'm concerned about. Now that we got that on, let's see about the rest of this stuff. Looks like the handle bolts on. This piece right here is the one that's adjustable. There's a big piece of slag on the inside of this. So this guy right here, if you look down in this hole, pretty good sized piece of slag in there. And I'm guessing that this guy goes here. And we'll have to set this once we get it up against the trailer. And that's what this quick removal pin's for, I assume. So now I think all we need to do is just get our handle bolted on. Oh, I guess there is a wheel as well. Let's see here. Yeah, we have to bolt this handle on, and then the other wheel bolts to this, I suppose, is what it looks like. To make things a little easier, I think I'm gonna go ahead and bolt this piece together. Just so it's not trying to roll around. And it's really weird, it's 15 on one side and 17 on the other. And I don't know that it matters which way you have the wheel facing, because it turns. I do know the bolts come up from the bottom though. Like I said, not the greatest instructions, but now we need to bolt this to the arm and then the arm to that main piece. This taller end here goes towards the top of the handle. There was a guy that in one of the reviews that said he moved his RV around with this, or his camper. And I thought, man, if he can do that, then I can definitely use it for this lighter trailer. So now we need to put this together, I suppose, and that'll be the last thing. Just don't know whether they go up or down here. Come up from the bottom. What we'll do after this is I'll turn the camera off, I'll go through and snug all these down. And then we can move all this stuff out of the way and see if it actually works. Not too bad. They said about 15 minutes assembly. I don't even think it takes that long. Obviously we need to tighten this up, but get the idea. Okay, I'd say by the time you get all the bolts tightened, it is about 15 minutes, but this is what we got. And it seems to glide around pretty smooth, but obviously we don't have a trailer on it. So let's move all this junk out of the way. Like I said, I'm gonna pull my trailer out, get a couple trucks out of the way here, give me a little more room. I may even have to back the 55 up a little bit because I don't have a gob of room to maneuver, with the vehicles in here. So I'm gonna try to move all that crap out and then we will give it a test, guys. So I got everything moved out. I probably didn't have to move the orange truck, but man, it makes me a little leery trying to wheel a trailer around that truck. It's just pretty nice. So I'm probably gonna have to move all the parts for my dad's truck over there. I don't know where I'm gonna put this stuff, guys. This is the problem, is it's to the point where I can't do anything because of the trailer and stuff just piled up everywhere. So we're gonna back the trailer in. I've got it hooked up to the truck there. We're gonna back it in, see if we can get it hooked up to this. I'll show you guys that process and we'll go from there. So take a look at this. It's low, guys. I've got 90 PSI in my bags of my truck, and it's still, we're like right on the bracket edge here without scraping, getting it in and out of the garage, but we're gonna give it a shot. I don't have a ton of maneuvering room is where I'm thinking I may have an issue. I'm hoping that I don't have to pull something out, but I don't know, we'll see. We need to get it off this thing, and then we need to try to pull that. We're gonna pull the truck out of the way, obviously. And then we need to measure, you know, kind of how far up this thing needs to go. I think we're gonna run out here before I get to where I wanna be. I had to use my jack to put this in the bottom pin to even get it hooked to the truck. Because remember, I towed it home with the, well, you guys didn't see, but I towed it home with the Yukon, and obviously the Yukon sets a lot higher. So I think that's pretty close to level. Let's, we'll move the truck out of the way and get that thing over here and see what happens. I think I have it, I may go up a little bit more here. But I think I've about got it where I want it. I did put my jack under it and move to that next pin. But we need to wheel this thing over here. And holy cow, we got some adjustment to make here. So what we need to do is we basically want to lower it onto this. So we need to go down quite a ways. I'm on the bottom hole there. So I'm gonna hope that I can lift it enough to clear that ball, and then maybe we can set it down on it. I don't know if I have that much left or not. Woo, it's gonna be close. Made it. So here's what we're gonna try. Set the weight of it down on here. And we are off this now. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it with the amount of room I've got back here. See how much room I have? I don't have a ton. Now maybe if I pull it, I can't go any further out without getting on the gravel. Maybe if I go ahead and try to jackknife the trailer there, we can clear the lift. See, that's the problem with this door not opening. You know, if this door would open, we really wouldn't have an issue because the cars are further back than the lift. Let's give it a shot. I'm afraid I'm going to hit back there. No, maybe not. It's harder to move than you think. Let's see if we can pull it now. Tell you what we may do is just time lapse this, because I'm gonna have to lift that up. It's in the way now. So for the most part, I have it where, you know, kind of close to where I want it. The problem is I put those up to protect the bumper on the OBS, even though I'll be replacing it eventually, but I didn't want to hit it. And I obviously didn't want to hit the 55. So I'm having to move all my dad's parts over there. So once I get those moved, I think we'll be able to go ahead and tuck it back in. Now, the things I like and dislike about it, it's not as easy to move because when you're turning, those wheels are trying to turn against each other. So that's always a pain. If you've ever watched one of those things back up, the tires kind of flex and move. And so you really notice that when you're moving around. I'm out of breath from doing it. But other than that, if you pull too hard or get crazy up front, the ball wants to come out. Now look, this is a 2-inch ball. This is a 2 5/16 trailer. So that's part of my problem. I really need a different ball. But other than that, and then the wheels, if you turn really sharp, you hit the jack with the tire. But other than that, guys, it seems to work. I think on flat ground, it'd be great. If I tried to get it out in the gravel, it'd be a nightmare. I don't think you could ever pull it. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but I ran out of room without, you know, fear of swinging into this. I want to be able to get this out at any time. And so what I did was I put my jack under it with a block of wood, lifted up the tires, and rolled it a little further. So now I can snug it right up against that, and that should be good. So it works. But let's get it back up there. Let's get all our stuff back in and see how it fits. Well, for the most part, I've got everything in here. Got the golf cart and the four-wheeler anyway, and the 72. I'm gonna put the 52 right here, but I'm getting ready to do some other work. But, you know, I thought I might gain a little bit of room, and I think I probably did as far as here in the center. But the ultimate goal, guys, was to be able to get out the stuff that I want to drive. So like the C10, I want to be able to get out. Obviously with the trailer here in the middle, I couldn't do that. The 52, while I don't drive it a lot because we're getting ready for a motor swap at some point, I still want to be able to move it. And same thing with these right here. So we obviously drive the 54 a lot and the 55. I want to be able to get everything out. And now all I have to do to get the 55 out is just move a couple things. Obviously we'll have to move the 52 out if we want to drive something, but that was the goal, is to be able to get this out. So was it worth it? I think so. Like I said, it's not, I don't think, let me tell you this much. I don't think it's worth it to buy a $3,000 or $4,000 one. Maybe it is for people that have motorhomes that really want to tuck them up in the corner, but ultimately the goal here, guys, is to get this garage door back operational, and then we'll move the trailer back to the very back. So we would, you know, that would be the goal. And I guess I could have done that now, but it's really tight with the 55 there. I just don't want to risk scratching anything. But yeah, I think it's probably worth it for a couple $100. Even though I did have to use my jack to slide the back, it still works really well. Like I said, though, I don't think if you were out here on the gravel, you would have very good luck with it. I think you'd need a couple people. It does not have a brake on it. Some of them, they're made with a brake. That might be beneficial if you're on an incline of any sort. But for like here in the shop, I think it works. But ultimately, I'm out of breath. I am sweating because it's so warm out. And guys, you will see in the next video why I'm actually getting ready to pull the Silverado in. You will see why in the next video. But if you guys did enjoy this, if you think that this would be beneficial for you and your trailer, go down there and smash that thumbs up button. Of course, guys, if you are not subscribed, please go down there, hit the subscribe button, ring that bell icon that notifies you every single time we drop a new video, and stay tuned to see what we work on next.